Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm going to go over the charts, but before I do, I just want to say the World Series of Trading on Bybit starts on Monday, so you have a couple days left to join the team. The links are in the description for that. It'll be a lot of fun. Millions of dollars in prize money. It's obviously there's going to be some tough competition, but if you join, DM me on Discord and I'll add you to the team channel. Okay, so on Bitcoin, as I said, I've been shorting these rallies. When we were up at this highs, I had this idea that this was the top, quote unquote. So I was shorting here with the idea of coming down, retracing, and then pushing back into the highs of the range, only to see us come back down to the lows. So I'll talk about some of the targets for my shorts up here. We have this point of control and this local golden pocket. This is going to be an important level, right? These point of controls are very strong support, and we have a pretty defined one here on Bitcoin. I don't really intend to trade on the weekend unless we get a really strong reaction off this level. I might even trade a retrace or something. But ultimately, my targets are down here into this golden pocket, but expecting even lower, possibly into this 18.4K region, which is the 786, and it's now the 1618 extension of this price action if we do carry this as our high. So anyways, just happy to see how price plays out. Obviously, typically price doesn't go straight there. We might get some retracements, sweep these lows even back to the point of control, test some of these levels on the way down. That's what can be kind of exhausting about price action. Everyone's expecting targets or price action to play out immediately, but it's typically a little more choppy. So anyways, these are my ultimate targets down here for these shorts. I'll take profits on them, but I have no reason to close them if we don't show some serious signs of strength, because I've had this idea since back here, and I'm happy to keep trading it. As for Ethereum, again, we had a lot of big levels here. I'm going to pull off some of these fibs because I was just looking at different levels here. So we have this idea of a cipher harmonic. I'll zoom out here. So we had this point of control, which we came and we did push through a little bit here. But again, I'm short on ETH, and this is my target. This would complete the cipher harmonic. I will take profits, but we're seeing that breakdown. So happy to be in shorts here. There's important levels of support on the way down, certainly. We have a very big volume area here. But yeah, I'm ultimately anticipating a breakdown. Is it possible that if we get a breakdown that we still come up and push up into these highs? Absolutely. Actually, a cipher harmonic gets invalidated up around this high here. So we certainly could push up and test this high and then come down. So always being wary of that, but we're getting a nice breakdown for now. So happy to be sitting in shorts. Obviously, when I'm posting, my last video I talked about that I'm shorting here, expecting a breakdown, and it wasn't malicious at all, but somebody's saying that they think I'm wrong on this one. And the thing I want to point out is that I'm not saying that we will break down. I'm simply pointing out that we are at resistance with bearish divergences. You can even see these like wicks every time we test the highs. But we have the bearish divergences in cumulative volume delta, and that down is the most likely outcome. So I certainly might be wrong that that we don't break out, but I'm not claiming we aren't going to break out. So in a sense, I'm not ever going to be wrong, because I'll never be wrong about the fact that we're at resistance with bearish divergences. Those are facts. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that breaking down is the most likely outcome. And so the way that I would premise kind of technical analysis is it's like having a weighted coin, and if you flip, it has a 70% chance to land on heads if you flip it, and somebody asks you, what do you think it's going to land on next? I say, it's most likely to land on heads. And they say, well, I think you're going to be wrong on this one. It's like, certainly I might. There's a 30% chance it lands on tails. And so if it lands on tails, you could say, well, you were wrong. But all I'm saying is the most likely outcome is it lands on heads, or in this case, that we break down. And whether it lands on tails or heads, it's not about being right or wrong there. You're right about the most likely outcome. And so when you're trading, you should focus on trading the most likely outcome. You might not always be quote unquote right because you don't have any control over what price does, but you do have control over trading the higher probability side of the position. So anyways, that's what I'm waiting for. Another thing I just want to touch on briefly is the leverage. Every time I post anything, people are like, how are you trading with 100x leverage? There's something called cross margin and position sizing. So I'm not risking any more than 1% of my trading account on a position. Leverage is a meaningless number. There's legitimate uses for leverage that have nothing to do with trading more money than you possess. And so I just want to make a point to say, if you don't understand leverage, and I'd say, you have to be a pretty accomplished trader to be using leverage properly. Just stay away from it. There's no reason to use it. So, it's not about making more money in your positions because if you trade 100 trades, even if you're a high win rate trader, if you're using high leverage, you're going to blow up your account. And that's high leverage with your entire account balance, right? So your position sizing needs to be appropriate and your risk management always needs to be intact. And you never want to place some big bet on one trade when the market's going to offer you hundreds and hundreds of opportunities over the next year that you can trade profitably with a proper risk management system. But anyways, I just wanted to do a quick video update. I'll go over Solana as well. So let's just look at this. I'm in a short on Solana as well. So initially I shorted this. We had a nice level that we tapped off here. I think it's the 1618 of. It's the 1618, I think, of this price action, and we tapped it perfectly. So I shorted the retrace. I got stopped out of that initial short, and then I reopened a short. So what I was looking at here is we're at the middle of this channel. Let's just remove some fibs here, the local analysis. Oh, I can't remove that. So it's the 50% of the channel from this high to this low. And I pointed out in the members group that this is likely to offer some resistance. So I'm shorting it. We have this swing failure idea still. And we can see maybe we come back up for a retest. But ultimately, for Solana, I'm going to take profits a little bit more aggressively. I'd like to come sweep these lows into the golden pocket. And we obviously have some volume profile ideas with the 786 and the point of control aligned. So altcoins tend to like the 786. So I'll be considering leaving some of the position open till then. But ultimately, if you see signs of strength, you can take profits early. And you should probably be taking your first take profit a little bit more aggressively because typically price doesn't just go straight down, right? Like it's likely even if we get a bit more of a rejection, we get some sort of retest. So you can take profits and you can always add to your position. All right, well, I hope everyone's doing well, and that's it for me today.